The Power of Mantra. Written by Living Buddha Lian-sheng. Preface. Curing a fever with mantra. A majority of Han Chinese tend to describe themselves as either being non-religious or atheist. Only a relatively small percentage of them openly claim to be religious. However, a recent study of the religious experiences of the Han Chinese conducted between 2004 and 2006 has shown that 56.7% of people polled in China claim to have had a spiritual experience that could not be ordinarily explained or controlled. These findings are comparable to some surveys conducted in the Western countries by numerous scholars, which consistently indicate that between 1/3 and 1/2 of the people interviewed have had a spiritual experience. On the other hand, Confucius taught us to respect the spirits but keep them at a distance. He asked, "While you are not able to serve men, how can you serve their spirits? Also, while you do not know life, how can you know about death?" Yet, many people say that it was precisely at a time when they were facing death that they began to realize the meaning of their life, and thus started to appreciate and understand life more. Furthermore, because the unseen and spiritual world remains the most bewitching and enchanting topic for many, it is too irresistible to be put at a distance. Most of Grandmaster Sheng-yen Lu's books, which now include over 200 volumes, contain reports of many people's spiritual experiences and their encounters in the metaphysical world. This is one of the reasons why Grandmaster Lu's books are so engaging and remain bestsellers, not only among his disciples, but also in the Chinese reading world at large. Most of his books contain a collection of prose on a special theme, as well as modern poetry composed by Grandmaster Lu. Both his beautifully written prose and poetry are regarded as exceptional pieces of literature, and his books continue to remain as revered models of Chinese literature. Grandmaster Lu's books are also assets for scholars examining the Chinese religious experience. His books are more than mere collections of reports and records of other people's religious experiences. Due to his own inspiring achievements in religious practice, Grandmaster Lu's books are filled with religious insight and wisdom. They include valuable teachings on subjects such as Vajrayana Buddhism and Chan Zen Buddhism. Furthermore, he reveals many mysteries about the religious world. Thanks to Grandmaster Lu, we can now get a glimpse of an eternal world through his writing. His interpretations of people's religious experiences in his books have become a powerful, overwhelming, and timely call for participation in inner cultivation. I would recommend Grandmaster Lu's books, without reservation, to all students of religious studies and to those with an interest in religion. This book, which contains 14 captivating stories regarding the efficacy of religious incantations, is a classic example of the works produced by Grandmaster Lu. Regrettably, Grandmaster Lu's books have long been limited to the Chinese-speaking world, and I am overjoyed to learn that there is now a plan to systematically translate Grandmaster Lu's books into English. Kumarajiva, 344 CE, 413 CE, one of the most prominent and well-known translators of Chinese Buddhist scriptures, once said that the process of translation is similar to chewing rice and feeding it to people. Much of the original flavor is inevitably lost in the process. Coming from one of the greatest translators in the history of Chinese Buddhism, this gives us some idea about the many challenges involved in translating sacred texts. Kumarajiva, however, never stopped translating, and his translations of the Heart Sutra, Lotus Sutra, and Diamond Sutra, for instance, remain the standard and most widely read versions of the Chinese Buddhist texts. As Grandmaster Lu's books are considered the sacred texts of true Buddhist school, the translation of these important works is a challenging, admirable, and rewarding endeavor. I would like to offer my special thanks to the translation teams for a job well done. February 8, 2010, Hong Kong. Professor Tam Wai Lun, Department of Cultural and Religious Studies, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Mantras are also known as dharanis, all-encompassing and containing limitless dharma. Thus, we describe mantras as the true word, the illuminating spell, the heart of the Tathagata, the Mani jewel. Sheng-yen Lu. I will begin with a story that happened years ago. One day, a student of mine named Sheng-yen hurried to my house and requested an immediate consultation. "What's the matter?" I asked. Somebody really needs help. Who? My neighbor. Your next-door neighbor? I was amused. What has that got to do with you? In a serious manner, Sheng-yen replied, Grandmaster, I often tell my neighbors of your great merits and deeds. I tell them about your great Dharma power and how you have resolved many problems for others. If there is a problem, just go to Living Buddha Lian-sheng, and all will be resolved. Today, my neighbor's only son came down with a fever, and it just won't go away. I came on his behalf to seek your help. To treat a fever, they should see a doctor, I said. They have consulted doctors, and the child has taken the medicine, but the fever remains. What about consulting a barefoot doctor, or taking some Chinese herbal medicine? I added. They consulted all kinds of doctors, but none could cure the child's fever. That's why I seek your help. Grandmaster is a master of talismans and mantras. Ha, I am a talisman master. We hurried to the home of Sheng-yen's neighbor. On arrival, I saw two encephalitis ghosts about to enter the house. I told the two ghosts, wait, let me enter first. I pushed the two ghosts aside and they fell flat to the ground. They were fuming and screaming. Grandmaster, who were you talking to earlier? Sheng-yen asked. To the air, I replied. Once in the house, I met up with the house owners, Mr. and Mrs. Deng, whose son's fever had persisted for several days. They looked worried and asked if I could save their son. Your son has encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain, I said. The couple's eyes were wide open upon hearing my diagnosis and exclaimed, that's exactly what the doctor suspected and told us, and you knew it right away. Please help him. He's our only son. You're fortunate to have met me. If not, your son would be doomed. How are you going to save him? The couple asked. I'll use a mantra. A mantra can cure a fever? The couple was astonished. Just watch. I formed the precious hand mudra with my right hand. The ring finger is extended and slightly bent, while the thumb presses over the rest of the folded fingers, and formed the Vajra fist mudra with my left hand. The middle finger, ring finger, and little finger are folded over the thumb, while the index finger is lowered to touch the back of the thumb. I placed my left hand at my waist. Using the precious hand mudra, I wrote the Sanskrit seed syllable Vam on the child's forehead and chanted Vam Vam Vam. Afterwards, I stomped on the floor 3 times with my left foot. I said, okay, the fever will soon subside. You mean the fever will go away just like that? The couple uttered in disbelief. What happened then was, not even 2 minutes later, the fever dropped and everything became normal. Once the fever went away, the child felt great, as if he was never sick. The child recalled, as I was feeling sick and drowsy, I saw a flaming cart coming towards me. Behind me was another cart in flames, blocking my retreat. I was doomed to die in that fire. All of a sudden, a man appeared in the sky and chanted some kind of mantra. He was riding on a cloud, and his finger pointed right at me. With this, a downpour of rain came and extinguished the fire. I was saved and then woke up. Do you recognize the man in the sky? Sure, the boy exclaimed. He pointed his finger at me and said, that's him. Wow, shouted Sheng-yen. I nodded. The couple was definitely convinced. Thus, if you chant a mantra diligently, with persistence and practice, you will quickly advance. Once you gain response by chanting a mantra, all of heavens will extend their help to you. In time, you will attain immortality. What exactly is a mantra? How can a mantra cure a fever? A practitioner chants a mantra and summons the heavenly water deity to descend. Among mantras, the seed syllable Vam means water. You fight fire with water, and then the fire is subdued and the fever goes away. It is that simple. Mantras are also known as dharanis, all-encompassing and containing limitless dharma. Thus, we describe mantras as the true word, the illuminating spell, the heart of the Tathagata, the Mani jewel. I feel that our time on earth is very short, and the time that we can really use is scarce. If you spend all your time pursuing fame and wealth, you should know that you can lose it all in one moment. I have always felt that the most important matter in life is the subject of life and death. To truly understand and transcend life and death by becoming enlightened is indeed the most meaningful thing. When I practice the teachings of the Buddha, I realize the Dharma is simply supreme and remarkable. There are many gems within the teachings, such as the true nature of emptiness, the prajna wisdom, the right view of the middle path, the consciousness-only manifestation, the yoga of one taste. I have seen many people who practice Zen Buddhism and many who embrace the Pure Land school's chanting of the Buddha's name and sutras. There are those who follow the laws and rules of the Buddhist teachings, such as those who embrace the Vinaya school. There are other sects and schools that enable one to attain peace and happiness. Upon death, an individual ascends to the Pure Land, leaves the cycle of reincarnation, realizes his true self, and gains enlightenment. He then roams freely in this world and beyond. In my journey of practicing the teachings of the Buddha, I came across the teachings of the yoga of one taste. I entered the path of mantrayana and realized that the Vajrayana teachings of mantras are able to fulfill all good wishes and accomplish all great deeds. The Vajrayana teachings can eradicate disasters, enhance fortune, improve relationships, and subdue all evils. The Vajrayana teachings can attract fortune and extend longevity and happiness within the family. You can certainly attain Buddhahood through the teachings. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have great compassion for all sentient beings, and to liberate them from suffering, they utter dharanis, which are long mantras. When we recite these mantras, they help us find peace and joy, receive great benefits, ease our lives, and bring good fortune. They can even help eradicate our karmic hindrances within this lifetime and deliver us to the Pure Land. Guru Tsongkhapa, the founder of the Gelug tradition of Tibetan Buddhism, once said, "To chant a Buddha's name is to reflect his identity. To chant a mantra is to touch a Buddha's heart." In the book The Essence of Vajrayana, it is written, "If you combine the practice of chanting the Buddha's name and the chanting of mantra, your merit is as wide as the seas of Mount Sumeru. If you chant only the Buddha's name and not the mantra, your merit is but the size of Gandhamadana, the incense mountain located near Lake Anavatapta in Tibet." In another book titled As Small as Lake Anavatapta, it is written, "The Pure Land School reaches to all levels of sentient beings. However, not everyone makes it to the highest of the 9 stages of birth in the Pure Land. If an individual follows the practice of Vajrayana, he will gain access to the pure lands of the 10 directions. He will definitely be successful in attaining the highest level of existence in the Pure Land." Living Buddha Lian-sheng, Sheng-yen Lu says, "By chanting the Buddha's name, one creates rapport with the Buddha's identity. By chanting the mantra, one gains access to the Buddha's heart. If you practice chanting both, you correspond with the outer and inner aspects of the Buddha, and this is most complete. Thus, attain the clarity of mind through chanting the Buddha's name. Connect with the heart of the Tathagata through chanting mantras. Realize the ultimate bliss as one complete reality. You hear the cries of the world through one mantra." Contact Living Buddha Lian-sheng at Sheng-yen Lu, 1702 NE 40th Keene, Redmond, WA, 98052, USA.